Hello and welcome to issue number 25 of Headline Heroes, a comedy podcast where we take today's headlines and create a comic book origin story. My name is Drew Mick.
I'm Nathan Haynes.
And I'm Jack, that football's back.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. All right, we're talking about this?
Yeah.
All right.
We're finally doing it. We're finally having a fantasy football league with the three of us.
People have been writing in day and night, over and over again, the same art letter. Please do a fantasy football team because you guys know so much about sports and we need your keen insight. So that's why we've canceled Headline Heroes and this is now Hail Mary Heroes.
That's a good name. Did you just come up with that?
I stole it from the fantasy football league Carl made.
So yeah, we have a fantasy football league. It's the three of us, and then also joined by Carl Sorensen, who created the music, and Brett Jacobson, the artist for our art. Jesus, I can't. It's
our art artist. Okay.
Our art artist. I work like 10 hours today, and I'm gonna work 13 tomorrow, so it's gonna be great. So Tanner, I got a few questions for you about fantasy football.
Okay.
What is it?
So that's a good question. It's like you play. So what's the game you do? You play like a lot of D&D.
Oh,
like almost like a weird amount.
Yeah, all right. I'll go with that.
So it's basically that. It's the exact same as that, except you just pick players who play in games that week, and based off how they perform in that football game, you get so many points. And you want to have more points than the other team.
Now, do my characters, my wizard characters, do they start with magic missile, or do I have to earn that after leveling? How does that work with fantasy football?
So I assume by wizard you mean the wide receiver you have, or plural of them.
Yes. So you decoded my secret message.
Wiz receivers, yes.
So technically, everyone has the same stats in a sense, though some players are better than others.
And that doesn't sound like the same stats.
Well, you're right. So you got me in a pickle here.
Now I'd like my main kicker boy to be sort of a roguish type, like not really in like class, but more in character, like how I play him. Is that allowed? And when do I get to roll dice? Those are my two questions. Please, thank you.
So you have to roll dice at the start of every game, and that determines who has the first. Yep, go ahead and roll them.
Okay,
I don't have any dice right now, but I am going to spin this.
Are we rolling for initiative?
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Oof, that's not good. What do I got? Probably a plus 2 initiative. That's a 4.
Oh, wow.
My fidget spinner's still going. I don't know what that means from a dice perspective.
Looks like
probably
my
pretty
Aaron
good.
Rodgers is pretty low.
Oh, probably.
On the initiative.
Now, Drew, I'm curious. What did everybody name their teams in the league?
Well, I named mine Order Corn, which is...
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Could you say it louder, please?
Order Corn.
Thank you.
Which is a stupid joke. And I don't think it translates well to a podcast, but
I think it translates great. Mostly your frustration with me bringing it up specifically.
Order Corn is a joke about old people on Facebook and how one person tried to order corn from a restaurant by posting on their wall repeatedly asking to order corn. Are you happy? I should have named it something better and more clever, but I was just
I think you might be able to change it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to change it to Nate's. Now, Tanner, Nate's a butt.
You'd be wrong. So you're a butt.
Well, stop it.
Tanner, which one are you in here?
Oh, I'm Lundgren Duncan.
Now that does sound like a D&D character.
Is that supposed to be? Is that a reference to?
Are you a warrior?
What is that supposed to be?
Did you mean Dolph?
Did you mean Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
No. So I did it from my phone. I don't know if iPhones have this, but you can just swipe your fingers across the keys and it'll try to guess what you're doing.
Okay.
So I did that, and it came up with Lundgren Duncan, and I just thought it sounded cool.
The closest I could find was Dan Lundgren, who is a U.S. representative from California from 2005, 2013.
Yeah, I'm a Lundgren head.
From way back.
Yeah, so my name might be worse than Drew's.
No, I actually really like you.
But Nate, do you want to let everyone know what yours is?
I named my team the Utah Jazz.
No, I'm not a sports guy, but I'm pretty sure that's not football, right?
Yeah, I think they're baseball. No, I'm just kidding. They're my basketball boys.
Oh, okay.
I went to a game once, and I have been fascinated with them since.
You went to a Utah Jazz
fascinated.
game?
I went to a Jazz game.
In
Yeah.
Utah?
In Utah, yeah. I went to visit a friend out there, and one of the things we did was go to a Jazz game. Because we were like, what do we have to do here in Salt Lake City besides drink? Well, let's go to a Jazz game.
Who are they playing?
The Houston Rockets? Is that right?
Yep,
Tanner?
that's spot on. I'm impressed.
They lost, but they won my heart that night.
Such a great fantasy football team name.
For one, the ludicrous matchup of the Utah Jazz is just great to me because that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well,
they evidently were from New Orleans, which New Orleans Jazz makes sense. But then the guy who bought them was like, no, let's keep it the same. It makes too much sense.
Yeah, that used to be what they did. That's why the Los Angeles Lakers are that. They used to be from Minnesota.
I'm going to change my name.
Oh, you thinking? Yeah, I've been telling you should get rid of Drew for years.
Oh.
It's kind of old.
Yeah, it's a little old fashioned. I don't know.
And then with your middle name being Andrew, like it's sort of
It is
redundant.
weird. Drew Andrew. Yeah. And then my first name is actually Andrew. Andrew.
And Mick is actually is an Irish bastardization of the last name Andrew.
So in its proper Celtic roots, yeah, it's Andrew. I'm named after my
now
father.
that you say it out loud, it's kind of a beautiful thing. Don't ever change.
I'll put a poll up seeing what we want to name my fantasy team. I could go the Drew Bags, I could go the Drew Crew, or I could go Nate's Butt.
Yeah, I mean, all three of those are real good.
Yes.
So
Very fine. Good
Any
slaps.
of them are winners.
it's a good vintage. So in summation, buy Detroit Lions, sell Adrian Peterson. All right, that's our keen insight for this week. I mean, he think he's gone, right?
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to use like my feet at all in this thing?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to the field tomorrow. You knew that, right?
Oh, okay. I guess I'll put on my sneakers.
The only stuff you're gonna have to do with your feet is kick those bad boys up in a recliner as you watch the big game on Sunday.
Oh.
Am I right? Let's high five here in this room.
Okay.
Together.
All right, all three at once.
2, 1. Okay. Well, someone just held up blocks of wood. Nathan.
Tanner, put your claves away. Jesus.
Hey Nathan.
Hey.
Who's your first draft pick?
Probably gonna go with the Seahawks defense.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to nab the defense right away, I'm told.
And how many defenses are you gonna get?
2,
I
3,
think you
3
need
probably. Well, maybe half because you want half defense, half offense.
Yeah.
But like the kicker, you got to fit in there somewhere.
Well, I mean,
how good are they at can they kick in defense? Like how much can they like kick?
Tanner,
kick off the other players?
Can my team kick each other in defense?
No, I guess it'll be a flag.
Okay, now what's a flag? Is it a good flag? Like, yay, you did it.
Yay! Like the other team is surrendering with a white flag. Like, oh no,
So
you lost.
you know how you guys have played Halo? There's this mode called Capture the Flag.
Okay.
So your goal is to get to their end zone and steal their flag and take it back to your end zone. You guys really don't know much about football.
Football's actually boss.
Yeah, you guys really need to get into this.
So they're like stick grenades. Like you get points for that.
Cannot stress enough that you should not throw a grenade at a football game.
All right, Nathan.
Yeah. What's up?
What besides
okay?
talk about I'm doing just
Hold on, let me turn my chair around. Let's wrap. What's going on?
you're sitting backwards.
You can tell that I'm a little more casual and open to conversation by the way I'm sitting.
And what do you do? Oh, you put your hat backwards. My God, you're one of the kids.
I'm just like you.
It's weird though that you just stayed facing out from the chair, so your back is to Drew now.
It's also really weird that you don't have your pants on. Like, can we?
Well, now listen, I'm old and it's hard to turn around, and pants are uncomfortable and tight. So can we just please ask me the question?
Nate, what do we do here?
Oh, well, once upon a time, before we did fantasy football, it's the hot pro tips.
Ages ago.
Who can remember? What we did here is we created superheroes and supervillains. And the way we did that is we sorted through all the articles out there on the internet to find the latest and greatest weird and bizarre news from the internet. We threw those articles in a spreadsheet and we picked one at random to use as an origin story for those heroes or villains. Now, last week, I think we made a hero. Tanner, can you remind me what that was?
Yes.
Okay, good. Would you please?
You got it. We did a hero last week. Did you say that?
Yeah.
We weeded. We didn't weed anything. Oh, there's no gardening podcast here.
I'm gonna shoot one of you. I've got 3 bullets. I'm gonna shoot myself 3 times. This is. What are we doing?
We're talking about weeded.
Oh, put some pants on.
Listen, I'll put some pants on when I'm good and ready.
All right.
Okay, last week we created a hero named Iron Munch that could eat things, and he would get powers based off it. Whether they were helpful or not was, he didn't know for sure till after he did it.
That old chestnut. What do you think would happen if he ate a bunch of chestnuts?
Hard exoshell.
He'd be roasting over an open fire.
What would happen if he became a cannibal?
Oh, man. Whoa.
There's a dark side in this boy's future. I see it.
So
pretty fucked up, though.
So, yeah, what are we doing today?
So this week we're making a villain.
This week we're making a villain then. Okay.
I'm loading my gun.
So the article that I picked ahead of time at random is number 4 for you guys, which is apparent exploding meteor lights the night sky in California. This comes to us from UPI.
Now, Tanner, you did just send me 5 fast and easy weeding tips from HGTV, so I'm getting some mixed messages here. What is it you want me to talk about, weeding or this article?
Yeah, just go with it.
Can we just talk about HGTV? Because that's all I want.
Okay, well, hold on, let me clear off my desk. Let's talk about HGTV.
Where'd you get that HGTV hat? Man, what are you doing?
I'm the secret third property brother.
Isn't one of them is named Drew, right?
I think one of them is named Drew, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think his middle name's Andrew?
So, let me dig through the article that Tanner gave me. What was the article that I was supposed to get?
Apparent exploding meteor lights the night sky in California. That was the one.
Okay. What are you guys thinking? I have a thought in my head, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking.
My thought is that it's Drew and Jonathan Scott. That's their names. Okay.
Oh my God.
I thought they were Drew and Jonathan Property Brothers.
Listen, guys, if we can somehow shoehorn HGTV and the Property Brothers into this setup, I'll fucking do it.
I would love it if we got the Property Brothers in here.
There's no way. They're well above us.
Well, let's take that Property Brothers idea and put it on the shelf where we can all see it here in our room. Mm-hmm. And if we think of a way to bring them in, that's right there to remind us.
Okay.
There, I set them down.
Excellent. So there's a ball of light
in California, which is, always fun to see that show up.
I think we left California. It was being rebuilt, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could this be a weird thing with the mongoose? Do we even want to do that?
Maybe.
Wasn't he what did we leave him doing?
Okay, so the mongoose was the governor of California. It's not his real name. That's his political nickname. And he's just a normal dude, I think. He's just a very good politician. Everyone loves him. And he was very outspoken against former Governor Lisk of Florida.
Okay. And we did say at some point we thought maybe he would gain powers.
We thought it was a prime candidate in the future.
That could be. So maybe he's out on one of his patented fog walks at night and he gets hit by a car because they can't see him because it's foggy. So he gets knocked over a cliff. And when he's falling down the cliff, this ball of light flies down and smacks right into him.
But first, he lands on a bunch of radioactive hypodermic needles, mm-hmm. Right? Yeah.
And the Property Brothers are walking with him. They're helping rebuild because they're good at building.
Oh, God, yes. Damn. It's canon. The Property Brothers are in California.
The Property Brothers are there.
Turning over some real estate.
And if you're out there saying, who the heck are these Property Brothers? You stop listening to our podcast and you go watch an episode of Property Brothers.
You watch them all.
You tell me you're not charmed by their
smile. Their smile.
Their twin smiles.
Wait, they're twins?
Pretty sure.
My favorite part about them is that they you can do so much with camera tricks, like in the Lord of the Rings, like Gandalf and Bilbo, like they did the camera stuff to make Bilbo look much smaller. The Property Brothers are actually conjoined.
Oh wow!
And they just
yeah,
they film it in such a way that it looks like they're each apart. It's really well done, and it's astounding. Look it up.
Well, not right now. We got to do a podcast.
Okay.
I'll look it up later.
Okay.
I'm writing it on my hand right now. Okay.
So the mongoose is out. He's out on a fog walk. I like that. Yes. Does he get hit by this meteor? Does he go and investigate this meteor? And bathe in its radioactive?
Oh no, he's gonna become a villain. I just realized.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. I mean, that could be super tragic.
That'd be sad.
The one hope California had crushed. Maybe some sort of Jekyll and Hyde thing he's got going. Like he still wants to be a hero, but he's got like a dark side.
Does he transform into like a weird Jekyll mongoose?
That's a good idea.
Now, why would he turn into a mongoose? Though you need to.
It's his name is the mongoose. Have you been listening?
That's not, guys. No, I'm not. I this far, no further. He doesn't just turn into a mongoose because his nickname politically
I got
is
a foolproof way. So he's got a giant back tattoo that's a mongoose.
What if he has a pet mongoose?
Flipping the double birds. Well, that doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, well, you're saying that the ink on his back is going to turn into a fucking mongoose.
What if he goes and investigates this meteor, and it attracts a family of mongoose, mon guy,
and
the Property
they
Brothers
attack him?
Is that, or like they meld together, kind of like The Fly? Maybe there's only one mongoose. It's like the runt of the litter or something, and I don't know.
Why is it gotta be the runt of the litter?
Because it creates tragedy.
That does sell. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know, Nate. Mr. Problem Maker, you fix this thing. Why is he a mongoose now?
Okay, so what if he's taking one of his shirtless fog walks, and he's got the tattoo right on his chest.
Glistening fog walk, yeah.
And what if this meteor that we think is actually one of the aliens from an alien ship from Daisy and Scout's planet? But it's a bad one.
It's crashing in like modern day.
It crash lands, and he comes upon it. And he's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And the ship like attempts to scan him and like sees the mongoose on his chest, and like the alien somehow I don't know, I'm getting pretty out there, but like the alien somehow merges with him, thinking that he should turn into a mongoose. That's what he is. I don't know. I'm trying to like I was really hoping to get these aliens in here somehow, but
didn't we get the aliens?
Yeah, but it was like they existed and then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
It could be.
I mean, we don't have to.
Maybe. Well, I mean, we don't want. I like where your head's at. I just think it's odd to be merging like three elements here: the guy, the mongoose tattoo, and then another alien.
Yes.
What if it's
okay? Then I also need more than he gets near radiation and he has a tattoo of a mongoose on him.
We don't have to do it.
There needs to be some sense making there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't attached to the tattoo.
We could do there was a mongoose there, and for some reason there was a radioactive blast, and it just like the mongoose was hit first, and it just kind of like his essence went back and hit the mongoose, the politician.
So it's such bad luck for him to be in the same place as.
Yeah, this is comic books. It's full of bad luck.
Instead of a walk, he's riding his sick mongoose BMX bike at night.
Or he's coding with the JavaScript database framework, Mongoose.
Now, what if instead of a mongoose, it's an actual goose? And he turns into a weird Jekyll Goose thing, and he's called Mangoose. Yeah.
Otherwise, what if he's taking his midnight fog walk to the zoo
shirtless
that he likes to go to?
Oh, okay. And it lands in the mongoose pen?
Yeah, why not? He goes to visit his namesake.
And so he gets to the zoo and he sees a sick BMX bike. And he's like, I'm going to do some tricks off that.
He sees a sick goose, like visibly ill on top of a BMX bike.
There's like people nearby. Shh, don't startle them. They're very skittish.
So then he crashes off the bike into the meteor.
Mm-hmm.
And a mongoose bites him. There, that's pretty perfect.
Boy, I never thought it would be so hard to draw a line between a man a mongoose, and a meteor. But here we are.
And a bike and
Well, that's where it got complicated.
Tanner, what parts of your story do you want to keep in?
The bike.
Okay, so he's taking one of his midnight mongoose rides.
And he stops at the zoo
He stops at the zoo.
to see the monkeys.
He says, I have to leave my goose at home where it resides. Drive my mongoose to the mongooses. And then where I can finally code in JavaScript mongoose in peace.
And then the meteor comes down and it combines him with the mongoose. And while it's happening, he says, "Oh man, my goose is cooked."
And what if what if after he is affected, he like has amnesia, but all he can remember is man goose? Where am I? All I remember is man goose? Am I man goose?
So, oh man,
Yes, no, lean in.
Goose shouldn't.
Yes, and
Goose shouldn't have died.
Oh, that got real.
he died?
Mm.
I was just gonna watch that tonight.
Shit.
I wasn't.
Yes, and does he?
So we had man
Does he wake
goose.
up in the forest like naked, kind of like Hulk would or Bruce Banner would?
Just blood around his mouth.
A single word on his lips. Man goose.
Goose. He's like really dazed and confused. He disappears. They find him wandering in the
He picks
woods.
up a copy of that movie, Dazed and Confused.
Also Top Gun.
Those are the only two things on him.
Yeah, oh man. So okay. Are we legit happy where we are? I'm happy.
I am.
I'm happy. I'm a little shady on the details, but
That's what we got to fill in. So what does he do? He's man goose. What does he do?
is it going to be like is it going to be a Hulk thing where he's a politician by day and trying to fight being the man goose, or maybe he doesn't realize he's the man goose?
That one.
That would be a good start. Like the first couple issues would probably be like him not realizing or choosing not to think about the fact that he is the man goose.
Or he doesn't realize it, and he's like, there's this monster that's appearing in California, and he has to go up and give a speech. Like, he has to give a passionate speech up there to like try and calm the citizens of California, being outspoken against this monster, saying they're gonna do everything to hunt it down and everything.
Yeah.
And little does he know,
He's causing his own
the
problems.
monster goose.
He's the maniac. It's a hot SpongeBob refi for all you kids out there.
Yep. How many got that?
Ooh, it's hot. Careful.
Gang's all here.
So what happens when he transforms? Does he turn into like a werewolf, but like more mongoosey?
Yeah. What does a mongoose even look like? I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I recommend you look it up. It looks kind of neat.
They're terrifying.
I mean, I'd be terrified if a man-sized one of these was fucking coming at me. They kind of look like a fox, meerkat, weasel.
It's like a ferret with fangs.
I'd say a ferret fox, maybe. I don't know. This one looks specifically foxy, but they're a big ferret.
But yeah, so like that, but a little humanoid. So what if additionally did we decide if he got hit by the meteor?
I
thought the meteor went in the mongoose pen.
And there was some radiation, maybe a burst of radiation, and it combined him with the mongoose.
So what if, now follow me here, he was still on the bike while this happened too?
Okay, you just really want this bike in there.
What kind of bike?
It's a BMX bike. It's a sick BMX bike, sorry.
Like what's the like, could you get more specific, please?
So you got like two pegs on the back so you and your friend can both ride on it when you're going to a gas station
please.
to get some surge for your movie marathon.
Tanner, release me.
It's a mongoose bike.
Oh, yeah.
This is
Nate just jumped through the wall.
Oh,
There was a
man.
window right there and he just chose not to use it.
Here I come. And I came back in, but I was on a mongoose bike, and it looks really sick.
You're wearing shades, leather jacket. Still no pants, Nathan. Still no pants.
That's how I get such fast speeds on the bike.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's my secret.
Okay, we want to combine it with the bike.
So while he's a man, he's just a man, and he's like, "Where did my bike go? I had a bike before this accident. Where did it go?
Thieves must have taken it.
Fucking thieves." But then when he what triggers him to transform?
Is it?
Does he just transform every night?
I'm trying to think of like what's like something that
The
could...
sight of geese?
No, okay.
What do mongooses eat snakes and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mostly
what if he sees a live one, we'll say. So it's not like fucking every time he turns around, like every time he sees an image of a snake, he's immediately drawn to it. But
that could set him up for some fun stuff to do with whenever Governor List comes back into the picture.
So whenever he sees a snake,
For sure.
he gets the urge to transform.
Does it happen other times, or is that just one instance of it?
I think that could be one instance. I don't know. What do you guys
Maybe it's
think?
like
what
once a week or once every...
high stress situations, like kind of like with the Hulk?
Maybe it could be we could do the moon thing.
I was going to say, yeah, moon.
Play on that, but it's only a specific phase of the moon, so not a full moon.
What's the most mongoose moon?
Let's see here.
I think maybe like a crescent, because they're kind of like a little sliver.
Little sliver animals.
Like the last sliver before a like no moon.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I like that.
Like that, the smallest of fingernail clippings. Ooh, just so slight.
It's a little trimmy. Trim boy.
Yeah.
So then what happens? Oof, he sees a snake. What happens to him physically, and what does he do to make him a villain?
He gets all his eyes go red basically, and he's trying to fight it. He gets all hairy and all, it's like very, like, I imagine this is like a werewolf, so it's very like muscly.
Yes.
And it's got
he gets ripped.
mongoose head. He's got fur all over his back, but you can see like
the tattoo.
Well, that could be a thing. Like, that's how they identify him.
His tattoo glows when it's time.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't care. You science fucking explain it later. We can do it. We'll do it anyway.
And then he makes a
Solar
mongoose
radiation
howl.
Done.
Yes, the mighty howl of the mongoose.
I'm just
Like,
gonna look
does
this up real
the
quick.
mongoose howl actually, like, when he does it like?
Hang on. Whoop. That's not a mongoose howl. Hang on.
Hold on. No.
I was feeling very
Come on.
relaxed
Okay,
in
hang
that
on.
moment, but you took that away.
My
from me.
chi. What? Really? Okay, that sounded like a trap set.
No, this is all
Sure.
mongooses. No,
Sure, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm
if I
down.
guess
making
if I
those
heard that
noises.
in the woods, I'd either think there was Pokemon or a mongoose chasing me. Yeah, all right.
Was he? What does that have? Is it a super powerful scream? Like, does it have sonic? Like, could it hurt you if he screams it at you? Is it that kind of thing? Or
Nah.
is he just raw
I think
physical prowess?
Yeah,
that makes
I
him
think it's
dangerous?
just physical prowess, just raging, biting, ripping, shredding. Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
on the skateboard shredding up the. Fucking
he's already got a
half pipe.
bike.
Well, he's fine. He's on his bike.
Yeah,
fucking shredding.
Okay, we're describing a mongoose werewolf. How do we get the bike in there? If you guys want the bike,
he rides it.
It is part of his exoskeleton. He's got a skeleton. It's like Wolverine's claws that just like, comes out of his legs.
So he just pops the bike out of him. Like, he can still ride it, right?
Yeah, and he can ride it super
Yeah,
fast.
that's how he gets around.
Because he's got those sick muscles.
a lot big muscles.
Guys, the mongoose is coming. Squeaky, 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 squeaky.
Do you guys remember Street Sharks?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
That's kind of what I'm imagining with this, like just shredding down the street on the bike, just
Hell yeah.
fucking. Does he wear a helmet? Has he got a helmet?
No, he's a villain.
Hey, so what's safety first though?
But,
Maybe he used to wear a helmet, but not anymore.
yeah,
I used
mean,
to wear a helmet.
Then
The governor.
everything changed.
The governor wore a helmet.
All right, is this all right? Mongoose on a bike. Is he wearing some sweet shredded jorts
Well, yes.
and no
Yeah,
shirt?
so we should establish because was it the same outfit but like all ripped up that he was wearing the night it happened? What does he wear on his fog walks?
Well, obviously, he's going to wear his jorts on his fog walks.
Got some sweet jorts.
During the day, he can't because he's always got to be professional.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you just want to kick back and wear some jorts.
Yeah, he's got to let those legs breathe.
This is not how I thought we'd flesh out the mangoose or the mongoose, but I love
Well,
it.
they're one and the same now.
Same.
Guys, we don't need to struggle for 20 minutes. We
gotta let these-
have a name.
So he's wearing jorts because he's got to let his sweet gams breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
And what gams they are.
some very muscly, sinewy gams. Every day's leg day for this guy. His sweet jorts. Short jorts.
So what does he do? I feel like we have a good idea of what he looks like and when he transforms. Is he just like a blind rage?
I think it's just
attacking
blind
anything that he
rage,
can?
like just traveling around the city, just raising shit.
Just shredding on that BMX bike around the city.
Oh, what's that up ahead? A mailbox. I'm gonna hit it with this baseball bat.
Oh no, a police barricade. Well, too bad. I'm just gonna.
This guy is basically just going Grand Theft Auto
kickflip.
Across the city, except he's a mongoose.
Mm-hmm.
And kickflipping on a bike, which no one else can do.
He's got the kickest of
physical
kickflips.
prowess. You're gonna tell me no man alive can kickflip a bicycle?
I don't
Well, he's no
actually
man.
know.
Is he hunting snakes? Does he just like destroy any snake he comes across?
Maybe that's what like his like brain thinks he's doing, but as he's doing this, and maybe he does kill some snakes, like the damage he causes, like the collateral damage he causes is
What? Okay,
is
so
insane.
at night there's a fire. Firemen show up. They start spraying it with their hose. All of a sudden, out of the shadows comes the man goose and just starts. They all run away because there's this breathing, snarling monster, and it just starts ripping into the hose.
because he thinks it's a snake.
Thinks it's a
Stupid
snake.
idiot.
Yeah, and then the fire spreads from there. And if only they had a hose, an extra hose. No, but the mongoose found all the hoses. God, I don't know.
Yeah, they go to open their closet of hoses and they're all already torn up.
Italian places are burned to the ground. Those noodles. This isn't the first time we've talked about snakes and things that look like snakes.
Well, here it is.
Here we
Round two,
are.
everybody. You've been writing for it.
There's a hose epidemic. Like, all hoses are going missing
Yeah.
in the entire
Those
state.
like all the used cars lots are like, what happened to our wacky inflatable arm flailing
Oh,
tube
shit.
man? Like they're all cut to pieces.
Oh, man.
Cucumbers everywhere. Fuck them. They're done. No more cucumbers. The land is devastated.
Oh, man. What about trains? That's one big snake.
Now, maybe if you saw it from a distance, I feel like once he got up close, he'd understand it was not a big
That's his
snake.
white whale.
Unless he's seen Harry Potter.
Oh boy, that's both his favorite movie and his least favorite movie.
He likes the first one. Oh, wait. There's a snake in the first one. He likes the third one. Yeah.
Wait, which one's the third,
third
one?
one's Prisoner of
is
Azkaban.
Yep. Okay. We both
I
clearly
think
knew
it's
that.
Harry gets hairy. It's when he gets hair on his chest.
Harry and the Pottersons.
Remember at the end when Dumbledore hits Harry incessantly
Get
with his
outta
wand
here.
and forces him to go into the woods? I love that scene. So sad. I love
you
Dolph
see?
Lundgren in it. Dolph Lundgren as Dumbledore was crazy, but I love
And
it.
his two sons, John and Scott, property brothers.
Oh yeah, we never managed to actually get them in the picture. Well, they are canonically helping California rebuild.
Yeah,
But
single-handedly.
one day we'll get you, Property Brothers.
One day. All right, so is this villain literally just attacking anything that's like a snake, terrorizing the streets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you try and get in the way of him, when he's trying to get his snake, he's gonna take you out because he's trying to get a snake. There's no stopping him. He doesn't spare you just because you're not a snake. If you're in the way to his snake, he's gonna kill you. If you're a building, don't care. If you're hoses, don't care. You are snakes as far as I'm concerned. He's just kind of like chaos,
So
chaotic.
then we established the political counterpart we should actually name, we've already named, this is a first, we've named the super villain entity. We need to name his actual name.
Don. Oh man, I wish Don Geis was not a character from 30 Rock
Well,
because that's very close to. It's almost like Mongoose.
We've already named
Don
someone's
Geis.
last name Geis.
That's yeah.
When?
Wait.
The Poltergeist episode, Kindergeist.
I believe you.
I'm gonna suggest Lundgren Duncan.
Fuck. You
Fuck.
gotta-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Lundgren Duncan.
That is now what my fantasy football team is named after.
You knew all along, you son of a
Oh,
bitch.
you. Twinkle.
Tanner did it again.
Wink.
I was just waiting for you guys to catch up.
Man.
What are his weaknesses?
Um.
Does he turn back immediately when the sun rises?
Yeah. Is he always find
Okay, so
himself back in his bed? Or is he finding himself if he keeps finding himself out in the middle of the wilderness,
He's gonna.
it's going to be
it.
harder and harder to explain it.
Yeah, so
Maybe he always gets back to his house, so for a while he thinks he's like sleepwalking.
Oh, yeah.
until like he is out in the middle of the woods and there's blood on his mouth or something. Then he's like starting to put it together.
There's a snake head in his hand. Like, what?
What'd I do?
So what does he do once he figures out it's him?
I think he tries to hide it.
And he like orders these industrial strength like
Or
chains and puts them in his basement.
Is he a very noble person and like admits it?
No, I think he's too proud.
There's no tragedy in that.
You're right.
So he's trying to hide
every
it.
night he chains himself up. Does he get a confidant?
He's got like a scientist friend that maybe he's like has working on a cure for him.
Maybe someone like walks into his basement and sees the chains and like, what is this? And he just tries to like lie and say he's into weird sex stuff, but then finally admits it to him.
That is definitely a better scandal.
I mean, I guess comparatively, yeah, a sex scandal is way better than I'm a secret mongoose werewolf.
Yeah. I mean, it's up there, but
then he confides in them, and then they're trying to help him find a cure.
I'm trying to think if we know any like really already made a scientist, but I'm coming up short.
I mean, maybe let's just make one up.
Is it going to be a love interest?
Of course.
Could it be the Property Brothers?
What about the Property sister?
The secret third sister?
Well, the third sibling who's a sister.
Who is a sister?
And
the third sister.
She's like a top scientist in, would it be like zoology or something like that?
She comes along with the John and Drew Scott, the Property Brothers, as like they're helping fix up California. She's like, I'll come help do science stuff. And she stumbles upon... she's like a chemical biologist or something, and she stumbles upon him in his basement and like decides to help.
What if she met him like before this transformation happened, and then you can get those love wheels a turning before,
Sure.
And then it happens, and he distances himself from her, but then she gets curious, finds him, and says, "I will help you. Don't tell Drew and John." Okay, I won't.
They'll be crushed. John and Drew. They said distinctly that they hate mongoose werewolves. I can't have them mad at me.
That's how their parents died.
Ooh, is that canon?
I don't know. I don't know why.
That'd be incredibly unlikely.
I don't know why there'd be another mongoose werewolf.
I'm gonna say no, not canon.
All right, I'm writing it down. Canon.
Which you're spelling it CANN.
It is
with
a
the
canon.
K.
Mm-hmm. It's
the
backwards.
So we didn't really discuss weaknesses, but I mean,
The sun.
He's
Sort
weak
of.
to bronze. So if you shoot him with a bronze bullet, he'll die.
oh, okay. What if you
Hold on, I'm searching for what eats mongooses.
what if you put a big old stick right in the front tire and does a digger right out the front?
That's a good idea. I'm fine with that. So he's weak to sticks being put in the spokes of his tires.
Oh, storks apparently will go after baby mongooses. Jackals will go after mongooses. Hawks.
But what hawk, except a giant hawk, is going to go after this giant mongoose on a bike?
Maybe a
nonetheless?
future hero named the Hawk.
All right, put it down, boys.
We did 2 and 1. You don't get an episode next
10
week. 'Cause we just
episodes
did 2.
from now, we'll make the hawk. Or no, we got it right now.
Calling your shot.
I guess for right now, like his weaknesses are just like
It's just typical
he
werewolf
apparently
thing.
is not smart because
Yeah.
when he's where goose form because he thinks hoses are snakes and daylight, I guess, and a bronze bullet and a stick into the wheels of his tire.
A bronze bullet forged from the bike that he rides. So then it's impossible. But really want to emphasize the stick.
Really, it's very important.
bronze
A lot of people
stick.
don't think about that. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
What about the comic book cover? I kind of imagine the font would be like "Man Goose," but spelled out in like claw slashes somehow, or it's like kind of torn
Oh,
up.
for sure.
Or there's
Font.
3 claw slashes through the font.
Yeah.
Is it just him? I think it's got to be him shredding,
Is he like shredding down the street, or is he in a half pipe? Or is he at the zoo?
got a
shredding
guitar solo.
shredding down the street with the guitar, shredding it there. He's also reaching out with his free hand and shredding some.
He's playing Free Bird with his other hand.
Oh yeah,
Mailboxes.
shredding that guitar shred. Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's gonna be one of. I think
gonna be
this
the
is gonna be our
raddest thing.
most like. It's gonna be a weird mix of like Howard the Duck's bizarreness and horror of like a werewolf comic.
Now there was some horror to Howard the Duck too.
There was.
Howard the Duck was awful and should never be seen.
Yeah. Is it in the background? Do you see John and Drew
And what is the sister? What is the last name of this, or the first name of the sister?
John Drew.
John Drew.
No, it's not John Drew.
John Drew.
Her last name's Scott.
John Drew Scott.
Chandra.
Stacy?
Charlotte. Stacy Scott.
Stacy Scott.
That's a nice alliteration to it.
Yeah. Drew Scott, John Scott,
Maybe
Stacy Scott.
one day Stacy can become the Hawk.
Oh, whoa. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. All right. What else we got to do?
I don't know.
I think we've...
Do they have any connections to our current pantheon?
I mean, besides the stuff already established.
Yeah, I mean, this was sort of like built in right from the start, huh?
Yeah.
Now, what if in the distance he sees, he hears a train and he's like, oh, snakes.
Oh, boy. No, Drew, it's not going to work.
Really
No,
like
but
that
no,
idea.
but hear me out. Hear me out.
I will not.
Hear me out.
Play with
Play with me. Come on.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
And he goes over the hill, and there's Sheriff Coleman.
Credits.
Oh, hey, could you pass me that gun so I can shoot myself in the head 3 times? Just kidding.
No, so no, I'm hearing.
Well, no, that's a yes from me.
You're bringing me around, but we got to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Is it
What are you
that...
talking about? He hears him and he goes and sees him.
Why is he there?
Okay. So he's chasing a train,
On
his
his
white
bike.
whale, on his bike. And this train happens to go through a small town in the middle of the mountains.
So he's really chasing that train.
Oh yeah, he's one of his nights. He went on a bender, needing to get that train. The train stops in that town for a little bit, so he starts terrorizing that town. So they got to call their local hero.
Oh.
It's Sheriff Coleman.
What if Sheriff Coleman ends up like one day, Mongoose wakes up and he's in this like cozy little cabin, and it's Sheriff Coleman's cabin.
Except he's chained down because Sheriff Coleman chained him.
Mm-hmm. And it's Sheriff Coleman's like,
You ain't right,
now
boy.
He got content with that.
Something's wrong.
I've been alive for about 100 years, and this is some pretty fucked up shit.
I've seen some fucked up shit.
That's where we could leave him.
I like that.
Yeah.
Fuck, Drew, you really brought me around.
Yeah. That was Tanner.
No, that was all Drew.
Now, but okay, yeah, you're right. Tanner brought me around. Fuck you, Drew.
Thanks, Mom.
You did nothing. You'll never amount to anything.
Yeah, there's Dad. Oh.
Just quiet sobbing for the next 10 minutes.
All right, we're back, guys. We cut out Drew sobbing.
All right. Yep, we're back. I had to collect myself.
Okay, so Drew started to cry again, so we're back again a third time. Or second time. I think we've got him together this time. He's taken quite a number of sedatives, so we're probably going to have to close this out pretty quick.
I'm real sorry about that. Okay, I promise that's going to be the last time, the third time right there. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'm not sure where you got that baseball bat from.
Yeah.
I'm not even a sport guy.
Yeah. Parents.
Parents just don't understand.
I just want to be a rat as hell mongoose just treading through the city, and they don't get me.
Parents never do.
So is that kind of how we're leaving him, and that he's
I like that.
he's with Sheriff Coleman. He's already established he was trying to hide what he was from the rest of the state. The only person to know was Stacy, and she discovered it. There's some love blossoming there. And the property brothers are out for blood.
Why are they out for blood? No, take it back. They're my sweet boys.
They're out for blood.
They're out for blood.
You
They're
take it
leading
back.
that riot. Like that typical Frankenstein mob. They're right at the front holding some fucking pitchforks that they made themselves because they're very talented.
They'd be some good looking ones.
Mm-hmm. All right. The property brothers aren't out for blood. Yet.
I think we got it.
I think we're good.
Should I wrap it up?
Yep.
Okay. So this has been issue number 25 of Headline Heroes, featuring our new supervillain, the Mongoose, or Lundgren Duncan. As always, we wanted to thank Brett Jacobson for creating the art for our show. as well as Carl Sorensen for creating the music for our podcast. Carl's website is carljsorensen.com. If you have any articles you'd like to see us discuss, our email is headlineheroescast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter at headline_heroes, so give us a follow there. Tweet at us if you find any articles. We have a Facebook page, Headline Heroes. If you're listening to us on iTunes, give us the usual subscribe, a review. We'd really appreciate it. Helps us improve. Lets us know you're listening and not screaming into the void. Lets us know you're listening and that we are not just screaming into the void. There we go.
All of our fans are just screaming into the void.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll pick up the next issue of Headline Heroes.
Testing. Can anyone hear me? My name is Toby, and I'm the host of the Secret Transmission Podcast. We are a show that discusses the paranormal, conspiracies, the supernatural, UFOs, cryptozoology, and anything else weird. Our show is transmitted to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter for updates at Secret Transpod. So get ready to put on your tinfoil hats and come learn with us as we try to explain the unexplainable.